Hello, it's episode 9 of Adopted Geordies, brought to you by BetMGM. I am Andy J, and I'm sat with the main man, Mr. Asim Chowdhury.
Hey.
And Asim, we have another very special guest today, don't we? I'm pretty excited about this one.
Episode 9.
Episode 9 is the Shearer episode, but it's not with Alan Shearer. It's not with Alan Shearer.
That would be good, isn't it?
It would be very cool,
Yeah.
but we haven't pulled that one off just yet.
Not yet.
However, we have landed an Olympic legend.
Wow.
So I'm kind of here for that. Not just an Olympic legend, a massive, massive Newcastle fan who's been out on the pitch parading his medal.
Yeah.
Mr. Kieran Reilly, he is going to be joining us shortly. In fact, here is a little glimpse of what's coming up today.
Yeah. I think in the summer, Salah would be a realistic target. In 2001, you were born. I've got boxers older than you. You know what I mean? And I think I could do a bunny hop, but I nearly, literally split my ball sack trying to do it once.
I've broken my wrists, pretty much most of my fingers, both ankles. I've been actually quite lucky. And the worst injury, I was lucky enough to film with the players just a couple of weeks ago. I broke the all-time rule of cheating on your barber. And I used to just get, I paid the price for it. Like, I used to get a taper fade. It was the furthest thing from a fade that was going on.
Oh, no.
And I basically got an accidental mullet with short hair. Seeing how the players are with each other as well, everyone was so sound. Give us the time of day. Everyone was wish me all the best. Newcastle be in the title race before 8 years. Heard it here first.
I love that.
Heard it here first.
So, mate, I'm excited about this. But before we talk to Kieran, who I think is really cool, by the way, I'm excited to be chatting to him. But before we talk to Kieran, we've had the international break going on. It's a little bit of downtime in the schedule. Lads are having they've had their warm weather training in Saudi, and that's all good. But that leaves you and I with not a game to talk about right now. But instead, I thought we could take this opportunity for you, Mr. Asim Chowdhury, to have the keys to the kingdom.
Right.
I'm going to make
the Saudi
you...
Arabian kingdom.
No. I think that would
That's
be...
what they call it, the kingdom.
That will be harder to arrange. I'm talking about the keys to St James's Park, the keys to Newcastle United. I am giving you the director of football role, okay, where you are having money to spend. We're gonna play a game here, right?
Yeah.
In January, I'm going to give you a couple of things. Firstly, I'm going to give you a realistic situation. This current situation, we might perhaps have up to £100 million to spend, right? That's working on the assumption that we're selling potentially Miggy, Kieran, maybe Callum. Karen. Not Karen. She's a vital part of the lasses. Maybe Callum, a few sales. But let's say there might be £100 million to spend. So I'm going to see how and where you're going to spend that.
Okay.
Then we're going to do just the ridiculous version, unlimited budget. You can get whoever you want. Has to be a Premier League player. So let's start.
Okay. So let's start with 100 mil.
Yeah.
Right. So we've sold
in January.
Okay. This is going to be a little bit left field. I would go, and this is going to sound mad, right wing first. Okay. I'm going to go for Mr. Mohamed Salah. Ooh. Now, I know he's getting on a bit. Okay. We would have never got him in his prime. Arguably, maybe he's still in his prime. He's still banging them out.
A hell of a player.
One of the most consistent players. Definitely one of the greatest wingers in the Premiership history.
Yep.
Top 3 wingers, I think, easily.
Yep.
Top players is more debatable. He's probably creeping into the top 5, top 10 debate.
Definitely in the top 10, I think.
Top 10, definitely. Yeah. Top 5 is more because there's been so many greats. I would go for Mr. Mohamed Salah. Now, I know that his contract is up, and I know we're talking January, right?
Yeah,
I know we're talking that would be in the summer. But I think if we get Mohamed Salah now, right, in January, I think he's still on fire, okay?
Yeah, he's brilliant.
He is brilliant.
He's got cool new hair.
And he's a proper right winger. Like left-footed right winger, like what we want kind of Gordon and Barnes to do on the left. Cutting in, shooting, right? Also very good on his right foot, underrated with his right foot. And I mean, I don't know, man. I love Mohamed Salah. I think he's one of the greats.
Mate, this is a
that
shout.
Would be but wait, is that the dream one or is this realistic?
No, we're trying to be realistic. You've got your 100 million to spend. How much is he going to cost?
I think in the summer, but we're doing January. We're doing
January. We're doing January.
Okay, so look, let me just say that I think in the summer, Salah would be a realistic target. I know
Really?
well, because he'll be out of his contract.
Out of contract. Do you
He'll
think
be
he'd
out
come
of his
to
contract.
Newcastle?
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's not like a million miles away. Let's just say we finish top 4.
Right.
Champions League football. Liverpool have won the league. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
What else has he got to
So
do?
you think
he's completed it, mate?
You
He's
think he'll be
completed
job
football.
complete? You don't think he'll
Job
be like, oh, I've got to
complete.
stay in this team. We've just won the
I
Prem.
think as Prince Asim, I'll give him one of the he'll be the highest paid player
right
in Premiership history on his weekly.
because you know that he can go abroad and get crazy.
I know
money.
he's bringing. I know, yeah, exactly. I know he's bringing in the shirt sales. I mean, imagine Salah on the back with the black and white. That will sell globally. He will bring us a whole new revenue. I mean, honestly, I know it sounds like bonkers, but
Mate, I wasn't expecting you to say it, and that's kind of why I like it.
well, because I was just thinking right winger, right? And I was thinking like, like who's one of my favorite right wingers ever?
Yeah.
It is Mo Salah.
Mo
Like
Salah.
honestly, I think he's one of the greats. I love watching him play, and he's done us over a few times.
He has.
Right,
been
he's
good
done
against
everyone
us.
over a few times. I just think he's so good. Like, and I just don't know how he's still so good. Because what is he? He's like 32 now.
He's 200 years old.
He's
now.
200 years old. So that would be my. You say dream. I think weirdly realistic in the summer, but it's not January.
No, if it was January.
It's
If it
tough,
was
man.
January and Arnie
Realistic.
Slot's thinking to himself, I could use a few quid to spend. We
Yeah.
know Mo's going at the end of the season. How much do you think? I mean, I don't think they'd sell him, and I don't think he'd come.
What?
But
the realist-
what would it take
Well, no,
to get them to the
but
table?
for me, I'm saying the reason why I think it's realistic is because it won't be a transfer fee. It would just be a free transfer.
Yeah, but if
He'll
it was
come on a
if it
free
was
and
January,
his salary would be insane.
what would they need to want? Like, would you offer 100 million in January?
No.
No,
Not for it. For a
It's Mo
32,
Mo
30.
Salah, man.
It's Mo Salah, but he's not 100 million.
He's
He's like a 70, 80 million, I would say.
I mean, that's not miles away from 100
Still,
million, is it?
you know what I mean,
It's
though.
like
It's not, but it's not because just because of the age only. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't nothing to do with his actual form or ability. Because as you can see, he can still do it at the highest level. So I don't know. Let's move away
interesting.
from the Mo Salah
No,
thing.
that's
I feel like
interesting,
I've
though, 'cause
weirded.
I don't think Liverpool fans would take 70 million for him in January, but I think Liverpool owners might think about it.
They will because they think if we wait another 6 months, he'll go on a free.
Yeah.
So they might as well cash in. And who's Muggins, us lot? We always get the Newcastle tax, don't we?
Yeah.
People love that. I mean, look at Gahey. I mean, they try and do one over us because they know that we got the money. So
Although we don't really.
we don't. We're not allowed to spend it.
Yeah.
So okay, that would be my realistic / fantasy pick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If we wanted to go for January, for a realistic target, I know it sounds so weird, but I think Gahey is a good shout. And I'll tell you why. Because they did try and do us over in the summer.
Yep.
Gahey's price has gone down a lot.
It feels like that's probably the case.
20 mil, probably.
20?
You think
20
more? You
mil
think more?
for Gahey?
No, I'm saying it's gone down 20
Oh,
mil.
down by 20. Right.
We could get
so
him for 50. Like a 50, which I think is very, very reasonable. Try again. I mean, his price went down. I mean, they're not playing great. So
yeah, they've had a difficult
think they'll
start to the
try again?
season. He hasn't been amazing. I mean, he was even played in midfield recently, which was
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
It was a test that didn't
he's
work
for
out.
me, he's sort of solid.
He's a great
solid
player.
Quality centre back. I think we could do it, but I don't know if we would. I think there's a bit of bad business there. It's awkward now.
We've struggled to do deals with Crystal Palace for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. I think we might try again for Gahey.
You think so?
Yeah, well, Eddie
We
clearly
definitely
rated
need him. We definitely need a centre back, like
Yeah.
100%. We need a centre back. We need a right winger, and we need another striker. Even though I know you're not the biggest fan, Osler, there are moments.
You like him, and I respect
I'm telling you, I'm backing him. I'm backing this horse.
And I hope, mate, I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
You just haven't seen anything. I've seen the turn and the shoot
I saw
and
the turn
the
and the
run.
shoot. I just,
Telling you,
yeah.
mate, he's sharp. He just needs to. And if anyone can actually get him to that level, it is Eddie. Eddie Howe is known for making,
It's
for
true.
developing players.
It's true.
I'm telling you, mate. If he was stock, I would invest in Aussie
Well,
Aussie stock.
All right.
If he was a Bitcoin,
You'd buy shares in Aussie.
I would. I honestly would. He's one that I would actually back. I don't know
Okay.
why. I can't even put my finger on it. Just something about what I've seen in real life and on telly. It's just something I pick him.
Let me ask you this one, and you might say to me, "No, man, there's absolutely no future in that. Step well away." But one that we nearly got, and I think there's probably an opinion that he messed us around too much, and therefore
Mbappe.
let's not go back there. No, was the lad that played with Mbappe, or was supposed to be playing with Mbappe, went to PSG instead of coming to us.
Oh yeah.
Ekitike?
Yeah.
Is that how you say his
I
name?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mate, he is looking good again.
Is he?
He is looking good again.
Where does he play? Is he at PSG still?
No. I can't remember where he's gone. But I saw some clips of him the other day, and I was like, hang on a sec. So then I watched the game, and I was like, ooh, actually.
Yeah, but wasn't he the lad who played against us when we played them in Paris, and he was terrible? Wasn't he? He played that game. Because I was there at the game, so that's why I can't remember it that much. Because you know, sometimes when you're live at the game, you can't really see the players.
Yeah, you only really get.
You
to
don't
take
have the commentary. So, but I remember laughing with one of my mates who I was with, and I was going, that's the guy we tried to sign, didn't we? It probably wasn't even him.
I don't remember him playing for us.
I remember. So he's looking pretty decent.
I think he's looking like the player you want Osula to be. I think
Leave Osula alone.
No. I'm not. Listen, I'm not knocking Osula. I just haven't quite seen it yet. That's all it is.
Fair enough.
That's all it is.
I would say though, what's the most important position we need though for cover for right now? Like
You're saying right wing.
You would say right wing as well.
Well, I think so.
What if Trips goes? Then we need cover for right back.
Right back as well. Well, I mean, this is the trouble, right? Miggy, he's barely seeing any game time at all.
Can't
So
get a sniff.
it feels like his time is up. Do you know what I mean? For whatever reason.
It'll be sad if Miggy goes.
It's a shame because he's got such a nice smile, and you know, I know you think Miggy Smalls, and you've got all the chances.
And he looks a bit like Michael Jackson, which I like.
Yes, but I think he's on the way out. Murphy probably isn't the solution long term on right wing.
I love Murphy, but he's still not consistent enough, is he?
So I think you're probably right. We probably need a right winger. I mean, let's think about this.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah. There it is. Let's go fantasy then. 3 current Premier League players.
Anyone.
Unlimited budget.
Wow.
You can have anyone, and they're going to immediately say yes. You know, it's all the cheat modes have been applied. Cole Palmer is the right shout.
Cole Palmer is the right answer, without a doubt. Yep. Generational talent.
Definitely improves the team.
Cole Palmer, 100%. Saka would be a dream.
Saka.
Like, imagine having Saka on the right wing. I know I was talking about Salah because I felt like that was weirdly realistic, even though it probably isn't.
Isn't his dad a Newcastle fan?
There's something, it's something about. Weirdly enough, Saka went to the same school as my mum because he's a West London boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was born and raised in Greenford, where my mum was.
You're much younger than I thought, man.
Who?
You.
What do you mean?
If Saka went to school with your mum?
No, you're right. But my mum's really young.
Oh, right,
but yeah, that's what it is. My mum was had me when she was 18. That's what it is. She's only like 56 or 57 or something. She's super young for like a mum. But yeah, she went to the same school as not at the same time. Andy.
No, I know.
Is that what you I got it. Sorry, I was just excited about the fact of Saka.
Jokes are always best when you have to explain them.
They are.
I mean, first rule of comedy.
I always do that.
Please explain your jokes.
I always do that.
Yeah.
Saka, Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
And
who's
then
your third?
Okay. I don't. This is no shots fired here, but I want a keeper who's brilliant with his feet. So I would go for Addison or
Edison.
Or Edison, yeah, one of the Brazilian boys. Yeah.
Yeah, or not.
Or, I mean, Onana as well. I know Onana's a bit like...
Onana?
No, because Onana gets knocked a lot.
Yeah.
But have you seen some of his deliveries? They are brilliant. And Man United, weirdly enough, which I'm not happy about this, I think Man United are the ones to watch now. Because you saw that last game with Van Nistelrooy. You saw what their new manager did to Man City, right?
Yeah.
With Sporting. And there's something like us that's happened with us. Something's clicked for them.
Yeah.
And it could be quite scary because on paper,
I don't want it to click for them.
I don't want it to click for them. I do not want it to click for them. But I'm telling you, Onana for Man United, some of the passes that he plays through, and if Rashford is firing, Garnacho, did you see Ahmad? I mean, and Casemiro and the other guy, the new guy they're sitting together and playing like two brilliant holding fit. I'm a bit worried about Man United. And one of the reasons why Man United are so good on the attack now, the last few games, is Onana's delivery. I mean, he's brilliant passing. He's got too much confidence with his feet. Like the opposite of what I want for Pope. Pope doesn't have enough confidence with his feet.
Yeah.
I really want... because it's a big thing to have a keeper who's good with his feet. It's risky, don't get me wrong. That's why Onana has made a few mistakes.
Yeah.
But just to be able to not just blast it up and lose possession, to keep it. We've got the defenders to do it, especially if Botman comes back.
So hang on,
then
Palmer,
you've got Tino, Lewis
Saka,
Hall.
and Onana?
Yeah.
What about...
No, not Onana. I'm not picking Onana. I'm just saying.
What about Martinez from Villa?
Yeah, I think Martinez...
World Cup winner?
He's all right, but...
No,
I think he's a bit overrated. I
think
think he's a bit overrated, to be honest. I know he just won that award as well, didn't he? He won the Yashin
best ever
award.
keeper in the world ever, greatest ever player.
I don't know about that. I don't think he's I think, yeah, there's some brilliant keepers, but yeah. No,
All right.
I would go for one of the Brazilian boys. That would
Okay.
be amazing. Yeah.
I'm excited.
What about
for
you? What
that.
about you? No,
No,
three.
those are interesting.
You do three as well.
Well,
Fantasy
Palmer's a great shout.
has to be right.
Love that. Love that.
Incredible.
Then I'd probably go Virgil van Dijk
Yeah.
at the back.
Proper.
I
I
think-
didn't get a centre back.
Because I think we do need, a centre back. And I
Imagine
think
him and Botman.
yeah, exactly.
Dutch as well.
Exactly.
Dutch connection.
That's what I was thinking. And then I'd be quite interested to get Kobe Mainu in the squad
Oh, what a player.
because I think he's got some
What a player.
real skill.
He won't be, but where do we play him? That's the thing.
Well, I don't know.
That's probably our
I don't
strongest
know.
position is midfield.
Yeah, I know,
because we've got too
but
many.
I just
Yeah,
think
he'd
there's
get
something
in.
really exciting
He'd
about
get
him.
in, though. He's
I
brilliant.
think he's a very good player.
Brilliant.
Very good player.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a quick answer. I haven't
Great.
really thought it
That's
through.
great. Those are great shouts.
But there
Yeah.
you go. There's mine. Quick stadium chat because it's making a lot of noise at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of kind of questions. Should we stay at St James's Park and try and improve it, or should we build a new super stadium as close as possible to the current SJP? What would you do? Where's your heart? Where's your head?
I would want. I feel quite strongly about this. Leave it the head alone. Don't even touch St James's Park. Like
Right.
I honestly think it's brilliant. It doesn't look. I get it. They want to get more bums on seats. They want a bigger capacity. But what's the capacity at the moment? It's like 55,
52,000.
52,000. I mean, it feels like there's 100,000 people in there sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, look, if you leave all the financial reasons and the growing financially and the capital and all that stuff, I would just leave it. It's like you don't want to move it as well. It's like one of the best things about Newcastle and St James's Park that it's bang in the centre, and you feel that it is the cathedral. It is the church. It's where everyone goes to worship. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Maybe that's just me being a bit narrow-minded. I don't think we need to expand. I think it's brilliant as it is, personally.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would think that, but I really struggle to get tickets these days.
Right.
I put in for the ballot all the time. Now, I
Yeah.
know we're privileged with sometimes we get some access thanks to our sponsor, but that doesn't help me and my family. I can't get my lads to the game with them, and therefore I put in for a ballot for every game, and
It's tough. I know.
I'm drawing blanks at the moment
Yeah,
in terms of the ballot. So there's that. That's the only thing.
How big do you want it though? Like, what do you think is a good cap?
For me, if you could make St James's Park, if you could keep St James's exactly where it is, I'm not architect and it probably isn't doable, and you could get it to say 75,000, right? I think you could still fill it, and I think there'll be a lot of people that have been losing out on the ballot and feeling really
definitely
miffed.
fill it.
I think you'd fill it every game. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
If you could do that, I think a lot of the people, I still think there'd be a lot of us that don't get to every game we get in for the ballot, but I think we get into quite a few, and if I could take my lads to five games a season, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That would be really great.
I hear your point, man. I hear your point.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
So I don't want to lose like the shape of the stadium. I think
Yeah.
one of the things I love about St James's Park is it does look weirdly unfinished. But do you know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah.
look like it's completed, and I've always loved that about. It's got weirdly enough. It gives me like an Italian stadium vibe. Like not the San Siro, obviously, but I don't know. There's something about Newcastle, about St James's Park, that it just has this European feel to it. Like I'm just talking about the architecture here. Like it just, you know what I mean? It looks weird, and like in the best possible way. And I think that it suits Newcastle because we are a bit weird and we are outsiders. Do you know what I mean? Though
I do know what you
underdogs.
mean. It's cool.
So it's almost like we're almost there, but we're not there, and we're all right with it. There's beauty in the imperfection.
It's got its own vibe. It's not the same symmetrical thing that you see in a lot of other places.
Yeah, I love St James's Park. But I totally hear what you're saying. And I think that would be amazing for fans to be able to go to, and take their kids to games more.
Yeah, that's all it
Demand
is.
is
That's
there.
all it is. All my memories with my family and stuff are at St James's, which is why I would have real issue with leaving. But at the same time, if I was guaranteed to be able to take my family whenever we needed to, whenever we wanted to,
Yeah.
upgrading the stadium would be amazing. I don't know what else that means.
Yeah.
Mate, we've got a special guest and we don't want to leave him hanging.
Yes.
So shall we jump to him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am delighted to say we have a proper guest right now. I'm talking about someone that has won some serious awards for basically being insanely cool. He also has, I'm going to make this statement, Asim, back me up on this. He also has the best hair of any guest we've ever had.
So jealous because I'm a slaphead.
He's an Olympic legend. He's a world champion, a double European champion, a UK champion. He's won a load of stuff on the X Games. He's also a massive Newcastle United
Well, that's
fan.
the most important bit.
The most
He's a
important
proper
bit.
Geordie, proper Newcastle fan.
It's Kieran Reilly!
Hey!
How are you,
Thank
Kieran?
you for having us. Mate, I'm all good. You've caught us actually just before I drive back up to Newcastle.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
the dream.
thank you for coming onto the show, man. And Andy told me that you're very cool. And I did my research, and you are bloody cool, man. You got lovely hair. You're amazing at your job, and you support Newcastle. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, triple threat. You
Are
know what I
you
mean?
are you also you're much younger than us, Kieran, so therefore we can live vicariously through your youth. I mean,
Yeah,
to be as successful and cool as you are in your what are you 23?
23.
23. I was saying 2001 you were born. I've got boxers older than you. You know what I mean? With like they've all got like, dick holes in them, but they're still going. So just
Yeah.
if that makes you feel any better about yourself, it makes me hate myself, but no. No, mate, thanks for coming on. Okay, look, first question, Andy.
Yeah.
Kieran, how did you become such a brilliant BMXer? When was the first time you rode a BMX? And how did you fall in love with the sport?
I think it was like that. I grew up in like the generation of just always being outside,
Mm.
and being outside for us was being on bikes. So you know, what I mean, you pedal around to your friend's house, you'd see whose house had all the bikes outside, see where everyone was, whether it was like using the bike to pedal for a kickabout or something, and then we saw the kids at the skate park that all the kids had BMXs and they were doing tricks, and we all like straight away were jealous. You know what I mean? We're kids, we want to be able to do that thing. And Christmas came round, everyone got BMXs. Who could get the flashiest bike? And I just fell in love with it like straight away. I mean, my friends, it was more of a bit of a like a passion for them. They rode for a little bit. They went to the park now and then, and I basically just like lived at the skate park as soon as I got my first BMX, and I think I was around 8,
Wow.
and it just spiraled out of control from there.
Wow. Do you like vividly remember like the first trick that you tried? Because obviously we all had BMXs. Like I had a BMX, you know what I mean, as well. I was obviously shit on it. All I could do was put, when you put the Coke can at the back and pretend it's like
A motorbike.
yeah, you pretend it's a motorbike. And I think I could do a bunny hop, but I nearly literally split my ball sack trying to do it once. Like do you remember your first trick
But
that you tried?
I remember like going down the ramp was such a like. I've been back to the park where I started it all, and we joke about how small a place it is. But I remember when I first ever dropped in
Yeah,
one of
it
those
seemed
ramps
massive.
when I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it was huge. It
Yeah.
was like when you see in a film when they're like pan up with something massive and you're looking over the edge, like.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly, like the adrenaline rush of going down a ramp for the first time, and I think like that feeling, I was like, oh, I'm chasing that now, and that's what it is with
Wow.
that sport.
Wow. I mean,
I
yeah,
love that.
it fucking scares me when I see, BMXers and, skateboarders at the parks. I just think it's so much when you see them fall, it's the pain. But I guess after your first fall and then you have another one, do you
Yeah,
kind of get used to the pain? Do you tense up? Like, how
yeah,
do
yeah.
you?
You kind of get like conditioned to it, and it's
Right.
like as crazy as it sounds. Sometimes like taking the crashes and the hits, like that makes it then feel even better when you do land the trick.
Right.
If you learn a trick in 5 minutes with nothing goes wrong or it wasn't hard, it's like it's not that same rush that you get.
Hmm. Yeah. And
Let's talk about let's
that
talk
makes
about breaks,
sense.
Kieran. We got to hear it because everyone in your career has got a list of injuries. Just talk us through whereabouts and the worst ones you've had.
So I've broken my wrists, my pretty much most of my fingers, both ankles. I've been actually quite lucky, and the worst injury.
I've broken every
I know,
bone in my
I
body.
know
I've been
how
quite lucky.
But not his ball sack.
in
So,
any other sport that would be seen as quite the opposite, but like I
Wow.
think the worst one I've actually had was I tore ligaments both sides of my ankle,
oh,
and that was just like a nightmare to come back from.
yeah.
Just basically kind of rushed back into riding when I shouldn't have. I got misdiagnosed with what it was, and that just caused problems for like so long down the line.
Do you? Does anyone like? Does anyone can you get insured? Like, like,
Oh
like
man,
your insurance must be
I,
mental.
we're so lucky we're insured by like British Cycling, because otherwise I'm sure it
Oh,
would be a fortune.
yeah.
Like the small
Wow.
trips that I do have to get insurance for, like it's usually a bit of a nightmare.
Well, it's like like when I'm doing acting or whatever. Like you see the stunt men who come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
and their insurance is insane, especially if they're not like part of a kind of stunt union kind of thing, because it's the same thing. They get paid to get hurt, basically. That's amazing, Kieran, mate. A lot of respect, and I know that you've got a lot of accolades under your belt as well. I mean, silver medal
at the Olympics.
Silver medal, mate.
Yeah, man. What a ride as well. How did that feel? Because I watched it live and I was absolutely buzzing for you. And I've rewatched it since, especially since knowing we were going to kind of talk about it and kind of talk to you as well. You were sitting in. I'm keen to know what you can remember, right? But I mean, it would be amazing your journey to get to there. But you'd said in advance, you know, there's 12 of us here. I'm not interested in 4th to 12th. I'm going for a podium, right? You got to a point where you were sitting in bronze, and it looked like that you were kind of tapping out there, which would have been amazing. But then you pulled off the most spectacular run. How was there anything in your head as you were doing it? Had you planned it? Did you know what you were going to do? What's happening when you're doing it?
Yeah, I like thoroughly planned what I wanted to do at the games. The crazy thing is with the Olympics is, you know, you get ready for an event for the couple months before you might try and peak for that event. You might have, you know, the next event that's a few weeks away. That's what you're focusing on. Like the Olympics, we've been focusing on that now for 3 years and trying to get there. And the way our qualification system works, you know, I didn't find out I was going till mid-June, and so it was like this crazy feeling when I was there of, all right, I've achieved almost the first part of the dream. Like I've got to the Olympics. I'm an Olympian. That was something I was so proud of. And then when I competed in the finals, like you're saying, like I saw that I was guaranteed bronze, and it was the hardest feeling to not celebrate it, because I'm like, right, I've got to drop in again. I don't want that to be in the back of my head where in our sport, you know, when you get tired, you have that voice in the back of your head that's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that trick. And that's what you need to block out. And it would have been a lot easier for that voice to creep in if it was saying, you've already got a medal. And so I was like, I was trying so hard not to take that in and just like stay focused on what I was there for. And I was proud to do that. And mate, that feeling at the end when I let go of my bike, that was like 3 years
Chucked it away
of just thinking about the Olympic Games and being like, right,
wow,
we got here, we did it. Like, it was a hell of a feeling.
Also, it's so nice for you to bring home some silverware for Newcastle, because we've won fuck all for 400 years. So thank you.
Try my best.
All right, talking about Newcastle, obviously this is the adopted Geordies. You're a proper Geordie. We're adopted Geordies. Let me ask you a question, Kieran. Who was your favourite player for Newcastle growing up?
Oh, see, growing up, I think when I first started getting into football, it was like the Gutierrez era, Colaccini.
Oh yeah,
like that team was when I first started to get into football. I think as a kid, you know, my dad would always take us to the matches and stuff, but I wouldn't have a clue what was like who was playing and things like that. I wasn't football through and through growing up like a lot of kids. I was so focused on spending as much time as I could on a bike.
Yeah.
And then it was that team that like brought us back in, and then I think it was like since then, you know, I started properly following, and I was lucky enough to film with the players just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we heard. We were going to bring that up.
We need to know.
Yeah.
But let's just, because if you just said Jonas Gutierrez, that is a great choice, by the way. Because what a man,
legend, one of the most loyal,
absolute legend. Like, and I mean, the crazy thing is too, it's like I think it's different now. You know, like the scale of the players we've got. But I remember like I'd be out for food with the family or something in the Metro Centre in Newcastle, and you'd bump into players. Like, there's a photo somewhere where I'm about 10-year-old with Gutierrez.
Did he have the Spider-Man mask? Did he take the Spider-Man mask off?
Oh,
do you remember he used to do that?
As Spider-Man.
Asking him to whip it out mid.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, Jonas was a legend, and I think he battled through cancer, playing for us, and was with us in that when we got relegated. Yeah, man, absolute legend, and Colaccini as well. I mean, we love Colaccini. We speak about him quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. So
hang on, well, just a sec. These guys might be some. Have they played an influence on the hair, Kieran? Because I mean, we can't really see it because it's in the cap. But you have got hair that I'm incredibly jealous of, because it's just The
story of how the hair happened, right, is like, so basically, I was getting ready for European Championships. I broke the all-time rule of cheating on your barber.
Oh, and you don't do that, mate.
Mate, I paid the price for it. Like, I used to get a taper fade. It was the furthest thing from a fade that was going on.
Oh no.
And I basically got an accidental mullet with short hair. And I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna
Own
grow
it.
out at this point. I won Euros, and I was like, because I was, everyone was like, you've pretty much got a mullet, but with nothing at the back, because I had no hair. Like, I had no hair, and I was like, right, this is a sign. This I won Euros with the accidental mullet. I'm keeping it now.
Mate, it works.
Wow.
It's kind of like Hawkeye when he goes through his dangerous phase.
Right.
You know when Hawkeye's kind of bitter and he's lost his whole family
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of his finger snap. It's kind of, you got that going on, man. It works. So look, tell us about this time you hung out with the players, because that just a few days ago, right? What were you doing? What was that all about?
So it was a bit of like I've been lucky enough that like since the game, Newcastle have had me at every game I can get to basically, and managed to basically brainstorm doing some content with the players and things like that. And obviously, I was more than keen. I was like, you don't have to tell me the ideas you've got. Sign me up, like. And we ended up doing a Roman reporter style video. You know, give me a mic at the training ground. So I got there, and the filmer is a friend of mine, and he's not into football, so he was joking about how like it was the first time he'd saw me kind of nervous and like a bit
Oh,
starstruck when I was seeing
really?
people, and I was like, they were meant to brief all the players as to who I was. Like, you know, this is Kieran. He's going to be walking around the content day just because I was told just go and grab players. You see someone you want to speak to them, go and grab them.
Oh.
Put the mic in their face, and I was like, all right, sweet. And then I go in, and Bruno Gimreich comes in, hasn't been briefed by anyone as to who I am. There's no staff around to go and tell him. And I'm like, I look at the camera, like, I'm looking into the camera, and I'm like, and the filmer, all he's telling me is like, he's coming over. I was like, he's not coming over, is he? He's like, he's coming over. I was like, you don't know what I'm doing. And all he's like, yeah, he's coming. I was like, oh, you're all right, Bruno, like, stick to me. Mate, I got an adrenaline rush, like I'd just been for a session on the bike or something. I mean, I was like, heart was going, like, oh, mate,
What was he
a mad
like?
experience.
What was he like?
Mate, the nicest, like, couldn't say a bad word about anyone.
Really?
Everyone
Oh.
was so sound, like, everyone, there was so much like crack between just like questions, you know what I mean, just like bantering off, seeing how the players are with each other as well. Like, mate, everyone was so sound, give us the time of day. Everyone was like, wish me all the best. I was like struggling to stay on topic, you know what I mean. I meant to be interviewing these players, and they're asking me like,
It's
you do,
weird, isn't
like,
it?
as
How
soon as I'd say who I was, they're like, BMX, well, you do like the tricks. And I was like, yeah, but like I want to ask you stuff.
it's weird, isn't it? It's like you meet all these people in our field, but there's something different about footballers, isn't there? It's like you can meet famous actors,
Oh, yeah.
musicians, you know, but it's something with football. It's just it's I don't know. It's something like even when we interviewed Eddie Howe, and we saw some of the players. We were nervous, like we were shitting it, and like in our field, you see famous people all the time, but you don't really. It doesn't have that same effect. So you get. Here's a question, Kieran. Do you know if any of the players are a bit decent on the BMX? Did you ask any questions or?
So one of the questions we actually asked was basically just stirred the pot a bit. I said that I found out from staff that someone on the team couldn't ride a bike, and we had all the players would guess who they thought it was that
Oh,
couldn't ride
okay,
the
that's
bike.
good.
And who did
Joe
they
Willett
say?
got done over.
Joe.
Everyone said Joe Willett. Everyone. Honestly, I'm keen now to see why. Like, I need to see him on a bike to see why they all thought it.
Mate, that's
But
I
yeah,
love that. I mean, that's the next piece of content. You got to teach Joe Willock how to do a 360. I mean, that would be that would be insane.
We had another question was asking what they'd do if they went to the Olympics outside, and we had Jacob Murphy said that he'd ride BMX. He's like, yeah, I'd give BMX a go. I was like, all right, we'll get you on a bike, mate. You give me the clearance from Eddie Howe. I'll get you on the bike in the off season.
It'll be hard to get a clearance on a BMX, mate. Imagine that,
mate.
the insurance. Here's a question though, Kieran. Let me pitch something to you. You love football. You love BMXing. Combine the two, mate. BMX ball, right?
Mate, sign me right up.
Is it already a thing? Because I think we should do that. We should create some content.
Well, like with a giant ball.
Well, does it? Yeah, or maybe the ball needs to be bigger. Yeah, maybe the ball needs to be bigger, and you can ride around. And
you could have it in the skate park.
Yeah, like Rocket League, like that game Rocket League, but with BMX. Right?
That would be amazing.
I think we should do that. There's something in that, guys. Let's go on Dragon's Den.
That would be amazing.
You know, Kieran could be the head,
The
you know,
ambassador.
the ambassador.
I'd go in goal.
Yeah, you go
For
in
that.
goal. You know what I mean? I'll be, I don't know what I'll be.
On
I'll
the
just
wing,
be there.
with your thighs.
Yeah, with my thighs and my ball busting, you know, my ball sack nearly splitting
Even if
in
it
half.
goes wrong, that is going to be prime content.
Prime content. Get Joe Willock. He can prove everyone wrong. You know what I mean? He could prove the haters wrong. Yeah.
I'll be getting the blame for Newcastle's injury list next year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe we'll start with Sunderland. See how we get on. Kieran, I got a question for you because obviously Asim and I were at the training centre with Eddie and JT, and we absolutely loved it. The problem we had, because they're similar age to us as well, we came away wanting to be mates with Eddie and JT, and we're both a little bit gutted that we hadn't changed numbers with them. Do you know what I mean? Like a cheeky WhatsApp with Eddie at the end of a match or whatever. You've been hanging out with the players. You're the same age as most of them. Did you swap numbers with anyone? Have you stayed in touch with anyone?
See, I didn't have the balls to. I was trying to I was finishing the interviews with people and that, and then I didn't want to ask for a photo. I was like, you know, I've just had like such a nice conversation with them. I don't want to now pester.
yeah.
So, but you know what? Big ups to Murphy though, because he did follow us on the gram.
Oh,
So
good lad.
Nice.
he's the only one so far. Like, I mean,
I love Murphy. I think he's got such a great character. He's so funny and so likable, isn't he?
So funny.
Yeah.
Him, Willock, and Barnes were just giving each other a steak
Were
the
they?
whole time.
Nice.
Do you know what? That's
they
so
were
good to
actually
hear,
supposed
isn't
to
it?
have. They were actually supposed to have a race because they were on about they'd all do athletics, and they all said 100-meter sprint,
Oh, but
and they walked past each other, and I was like stirring it up a little bit, you know, telling them like, oh, he said he'd be a sprinter as well. Apparently they were gonna have they were like, well, Gordon was like, they reckon they can beat me in a race? Nah, we got.
oh, but let's be real. Let's be real
having a
though.
sprint.
I think Willock is easily the fastest there, right? Surely.
Yeah. Not than Anthony Gordon. He's not quicker than
You don't
Gordon.
think he's
I was
quicker than
gonna say,
Gordon?
I reckon Gordon's got to be the quickest.
You reckon?
Yeah.
See, I feel like Willock on the ball is the fastest, right?
Do you think so?
Well, because the way that Willock drives with the ball, he's so quick. Gordon maybe just on a sprint, maybe Gordon's quicker.
I think Gordon.
I don't
I think
know.
Miggy's electric as
It'd be a race
well.
I'd like to see though.
Sorry.
It'd definitely be a race that I'd like to see.
Yeah, Miggy as well. Yeah,
Miggy's
Miggy will be
fast
pretty
too.
nippy as
Miggy's
well.
quick as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, we should set that up.
Kieran, let's talk about this season. I'm mindful you haven't got loads of time, so let's just talk about this season. Are you enjoying it? How do you think the team's doing? What do you think we're gonna end up with?
You know what? I could see we're getting top 4 again this season. I think
Ooh.
I like that.
we've not had a great start, but we've turned it around the last few games.
Yeah.
I think we did have. You know, we didn't even have terrible fixtures, so I can't really blame it on that at the start of the season. I think it was just, you know, went on an unbeaten run, and then the way we were playing just caught up to it. We're how we're on the unbeaten run with where we're playing. You know what I mean? We got lucky there, and then kind of turned the form around now. We've got healthy players. I definitely think we definitely should be pushing for top 4 again this year. I think
Love that.
Wow.
I love that. Yeah, I've got a hunch on 5th, but I'd be thrilled with top 4, man. I mean,
If we get top
we're
4
close,
again.
right?
Oh.
We're like a point away.
I mean, if you like, even the next few fixtures we've got, I mean, Villa Boxing Day. That's going to be a big one when it comes to
Ooh, yeah.
when it comes to like trying to secure top 4. We've got Spurs in January. One of my closest mates is a Spurs fan, so unfortunately I'll be in the sat in the away end for that game, I think. But
Mate, I love. So you go to the away games as well, then you can get into the away games.
well, see, because where I live now, like everyone who's trying to like ride to the best of their ability moves here basically. So
Right.
the lads who I ride with, you know, we've got one lad Arsenal fan, one of my closest mates, Deck, he's Spurs, another lad's Liverpool. So there's quite the mix who are down here. So basically, like, try and sort each other out with getting each other to games.
Love that. Love that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And you're feeling it basically. I mean, I saw you on the field in the opening game against Southampton. You brought the silverware, literally. I mean, was that a big moment for you? Did that feel pretty cool?
Oh, mate, massive. Like, I think if you say the word Newcastle, you know what I mean. Like, the football is the biggest thing for Newcastle by far. Like, it's a Newcastle town through and through, and like to be acknowledged by the club you grew up watching. You know what I mean? It's a pretty
Amazing.
mental feeling, and they had me at that game. Like, I was lucky enough that the chairman like offered me to his suite and like meeting like Ryan Taylor, and I was sat next to Steve Hart, but like
Yeah, that's cool.
it was the maddest, like not an opportunity I expected after the games, but one that was just like, oh, it was quite surreal.
I'm
Wow.
gonna make you an offer, Kieran, and it's not an offer that I have any control over, but you have a fair amount of control, right? Next Olympic Games, yeah, you get gold, or Newcastle
Oh,
win the Prem and the Champions League
oh, that's hard, Andy.
in that season,
That's hard, mate.
and you're there
That
at
is
both
hard.
the finals.
Oh mate, you know times like these you got to take the hit, innit?
Oh,
Oh, good
you
lad.
do it.
Wow.
Millions of
What?
people
He's
never
like
want to see that.
he's like
You gotta
Jesus.
take the hit.
He's sacrificed himself.
That is amazing.
If I'm at them games,
Yeah,
absolute
yeah.
scenes.
Yeah, you'd be in the
what?
Champions League
I
final.
didn't make the Champions League games last season because I was competing, and my manager managed to make it to the PSG game where we won 4-1. I've never been more raging.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I was
Yeah.
there. I was there. I was there. So it's Rob.
Kieran, Asim mentions it
mention it every episode.
every single episode.
my
I was
God.
there with
I
Sam
had
Fender and
failed.
Cass's dad.
I
So
failed in the
jealous.
ballot, and every time he mentions
But-
it, there's just a part of me that's like, yeah, I
Kieran,
wasn't there.
but let's be honest, it's way more likely for you to win a gold than for Newcastle to win the fucking Prem and the Champions League in the same season. I mean, fuck that. That's
In
never going to happen.
a few years' time, you know, when all this financial fair play stuff starts to figure itself out,
Yeah.
we'll start get these big signings. Not even.
Do you know what?
You
It
will
could-
win.
it
You
could
will
be a
win a
thing.
gold. You will win a gold medal before that, mate. I will fucking bet I'll put my mortgage on it.
Well,
I'll
tell
put
you
my
what,
mortgage on it.
Let's make this deal then, Kieran, right? You win a gold in 4 years' time, and then in 8 years, that's when Newcastle can have the Champions League and the Prem, and you can have silver. Yeah?
Mate,
Does that sound fair?
Newcastle be in the title race before 8 years.
God.
Mate,
Heard it
I
first.
love that.
Heard it
I love
here
that.
first.
I mean, I'll take it, but that shows you how starved we are of anything. Like, we'll be in the title race in 8 years.
No, he said before that. He said before that.
I know, but it's just funny, isn't it? God, we suffer, don't we? We suffer.
Someone will clip this, right, and they'll post it in a few years' time when we're in the title race. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
exactly, and that exactly. You're right, Kieran. He's got a good attitude, though.
I love it. I'm
He
here
is a
for it.
winner. He's a winner, man. He's a winner. I love that.
100%.
I love
Mate, you
that.
got to back it, innit? Got to back
Got to
it.
back it, man. Big up. Now, listen, Kieran, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a really great chat, man.
It's
I
been
really
brilliant.
appreciate
It's been brilliant.
you coming on.
What's
Yeah.
the rest of the year hold for you, Kieran? Because we haven't spoken about what's happening right now. You up until Christmas. You got anything big going on?
Yeah, we've got so we don't really have much of a structured season at the moment. So because the games was this year, they try to keep as much until after as possible. So end of this month, we've got the British Championships, and then we fly out to Abu Dhabi on the 18th of December for World Champs.
Wow,
So hoping to end the year on a high.
mate. Good
Nice.
luck.
Good luck, mate.
If you need a couple of hype men, I quite fancy a trip to Abu Dhabi. What do you reckon, Asim? We could go
Yeah,
and be
why
hype
not?
men. I don't know if you don't really have hype men, but you could use a couple of old hype men, right?
Yeah. Well, mate, I'm hoping it goes well because we've already planned the celebrations. We'll go into the Boxing Day game, so I'm hoping I get there in a good mood.
Good lad. Love it. Love it. Good luck to you, Kieran. You've been really good
Thank you,
company.
mate.
I love your optimism as well.
Thank you, mate.
I mean,
Yeah.
the man's a born winner.
He
Asim.
is,
So,
he
if,
is.
you know,
Mentality
game
is.
recognises game, right? He says we're going to
100%.
be in the title race.
I believe him.
It's going to happen.
In 8 years. Yeah.
Better late than never.
Yeah,
When's
true,
Sunderland
true.
talking about getting in the title race?
I'll tell you what, I'll still have those pair of boxes in 8 years, though, with all the dick holes in them. So there we go.
Yeah.
They'll still be going strong, mate.
Oh, amazing.
Nice
Kieran,
one,
thank you
Kieran.
very much for your company, mate. Have a great time. Good
Yeah,
luck in Abu
thank you,
Dhabi
mate.
as well. I hope you have a brilliant time and come home with the
Yeah,
win
man.
because
Good luck.
you deserve it, mate. You're absolutely flying.
Yeah.
And you're I mean, I've been watching your Instagram and it's the things you can do are ridiculous. Amazing.
Oh, thank you for having us, mate. I appreciate it.
Big up, bro.
Nice one. Take it easy,
Nice
mate.
one. Bye.
It
Yeah.
wasn't Kieran cool.
Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Lovely guy.
The moment when he said he would sacrifice a gold in order for us to have, admittedly, the Champions League and the Prem in
Yeah.
the same season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just really cool.
Sacrificed us himself. What a
Yeah.
legend.
What a
a
guy.
gent.
What a
Yeah.
guy. Really
He's
liked
got
it.
Jesus hair and Jesus morals. He sacrificed himself.
I wonder if Jesus was amazing on a BMX.
Oh yeah, he would have been good.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well-
Bunny on water, bunny hopping on water. I mean, come on. Big JC.
Oh, man. Love it. That's episode 9. That's it. We're wrapped. You have been listening to or watching Adopted Geordies, brought to you by BetMGM. I've been Andy J. He's the main man, Mr. Asim Chowdhury. We'll be back soon, won't we?
Yeah.
All right. See you soon.
The Adopted Geordies. The Adopted Geordies. We got Andy J, we got the baldy. Together we are the Adopted Geordies. Not from the tomb, but we certainly bleed black and white. In the war studios, flying every war flag in sight. Got Andy J, and we got the baldy. Together we are the Adopted Geordies.